So today, in this third part of the squint, we are going to study the non-concomitant squint or paralytic squint. Now what is non-concomitant squint? It is a deviation caused by paralysis of extraocular muscles, and it is a condition in which the deviation of eye varies in different direction of the gaze. Now coming to the causes of paralytic squint. Now the etiology can be broadly divided into the two varieties. One, that is due to the lesions of cranial nerve supplying the muscles, or the second category, that is the lesions of muscles itself. Now let us see the first variety, that is the lesions of cranial nerve supplying the muscles. In that, the first group, that is the lesions of motor nerve nucleus. In that, it can be due to the congenital absence of nucleus, inflammatory lesions like encephalitis, neurosyphilis, disseminated sclerosis, neoplasms that is affecting the nucleus, or due to the toxic factors like alcohol, toxins of diphtheria, or it can be due to the degenerative and vascular causes affecting the nucleus. Now under the lesions of nerve, the second variety of causes, that is due to the lesions of nerve root just beyond the nucleus. In that, it can be due to the inflammations like neurosyphilis, disseminated sclerosis, or due to the neoplasms, and vascular causes like aneurysm, hemorrhage, thrombosis affecting the arteries supplying the root. The third category under the lesions of nerve, that is the lesions of nerve trunk. Under that, it can be due to the trauma like direct injury to the trunk or pressure on the nerve by the hematoma, or by stretching of nerve due to the cerebral edema or intracranial hemorrhage. Or it may be due to the neuritis of the nerve, as in the diabetes mellitus, vitamin deficiency, or lead poisoning. Certain toxic causes like alcohol poisoning, pressure on the nerve by aneurysm or neoplasm. Now coming to the second group of the causes, that is the lesions of muscles itself. It may be produced due to the congenital absence or maldevelopment of muscle, that is congenital musculofacial anomaly. The lesions of muscle may be produced due to the injury to the muscles, disease of muscles or myopathy as seen in the exophthalmic ophthalmoplegia, in the endocrine exophthalmos, thyrotoxic myopathy, or ocular myopathy. So that are the causes under the lesions of muscles itself. Now coming to the symptoms. The chief symptom here will be a diplopia, as you can see here in the picture. The main symptom will be the diplopia. It is the most marked in the direction of action of paralyzed muscle, and it may be crossed or uncrossed. Another symptom, there will be a vertigo and nausea, and they will be produced due to the diplopia. Now how will you investigate a case? So in that, first you have to see in the history the onset and of the associated illness, which will be the precipitating factor. Another thing you have to assess, that is ocular posture, that is you have to see the deviation of the eyeball. Then you have to look for the head posture, whether any tilting or rotation of the head is present or not. Another test, that is cover test, that is to find out whether the secondary deviation is more than the primary deviation. The another thing that you have to check, that is the ocular movements. Any restriction of movement in any direction gives an idea of muscles involved. Movement should be examined for individual eye as both the eye together. The another test is the diplopia test. Now in this test, the patient is asked to wear a spectacles in which there is a red glass in the right eye and green glass in the left eye. Now in the dark room, a streak of light from a specially devised torch that is shown in the 9 fields, that is up and to the right, then straight upwards, up and to the left, straight to the right, straight in front, straight to the left, down and to the right, straight downwards, down and to the left. So that is the how to check the diplopia test. Now after doing this diplopia test, how to come for the conclusion of diplopia test. So in the field where there is diplopia, the patient notices 2 images of the light. He is then asked to find out the field in which diplopia is most marked. Then he is asked to notice which of the images, either red or green, in the field is the most external. The external image that will be belonging to the eye which has the paralyzed muscle. So that is how you have to conclude the diplopia test. Apart from that, there are other methods to find out exactly which muscle is affected, like testing by Hess screen. Another test, that is the examination by the synoptophore, that can be also done in different position of the gaze. Now after seeing the different investigations, now let us see what is the treatment of paralytic squint. Here mainly the treatment is treatment of underlying cause. Second, there is a chief symptom is diplopia. So to avoid diplopia, the occlusion of affected eye may be done. But patient should be encouraged to look from time to time in the direction where there is no diplopia, so that binocular vision may be maintained. Another treatment, that is injection of vitamin B1, B6, B12 in the heavy doses as a part of empirical treatment. And the last, that is the operative measures. Operative measures consisting mainly the tackling of the contracture of direct antagonist and overaction of contralateral synergist.